Anna, about the glass partition at the school?
Well, the school was 2 rooms actually, but it was divided by a glass partition, like a lot of glass doors they were, because they were about, each piece was about that size.
Was this about a foot?
No, 3 feet.
3 feet?
An ordinary door.
Ah, right.
And they could slide so that they could be slid to a side to make the whole place into one room. But when we got us, we used to refer to it as the pity room, because latterly we were at 2 teachers' school and the small children were in there, and then the partition was kept permanently closed. But it was on the runners on the floor. I don't know whether the idea had been all along it could either open up into one room or close off into 2.
Could you see through this?
No, it was sort of, it wasn't frosted glass, but it was all, the only thing I did was to use a Shetland word, all ruckles, so that you couldn't see, you could see shadows, but you couldn't see through it. You could hear through it. Especially when the teacher got cross.
Was there a lot of times that happened?
Yes. Very often.
So you would have heard her quite a lot then?
Well, I think sometimes the teacher, and I had, when I went first to school, you'd have her outside at the bottom of the bath, not in the room. But we grew to realise that she just shouted. She wasn't really, and that was worse than that, she wasn't really angry. She just had a loud voice, but it was terrifying for any small child of 5 going to school.
I suppose you thought that it was, she was angry, she was just shouting out.
Yes.
I suppose that happens quite a lot.
Yeah.
Tell me, Anna, the glass partition, thinking about it now, was it dangerous?
No, I don't think so, because, I mean, we weren't allowed in the classroom unattended. And I mean, we weren't allowed to run around or do anything, for on my day at school, you went into the school, you sat down on your desk, and you didn't move a muscle unless the teacher said. So you weren't coming into contact with us then. But I suppose if a bomb had dropped and all that glass had broken, it would have been dangerous. So that was probably why it was all taped, because crosses of tape.
Was alcohol rationed?
Well, alcohol wasn't rationed, but it was in very short supply, if I remember rightly. But you see, at 8, 9 and 10 I wasn't thinking very much about alcohol. My dad had a shop at the bar, so you see, I can remember him having, he would have a bottle of whiskey at Christmas, but I thought that each house just maybe got 1 bottle.
I suppose that's kind of different from now.
Yes, and I mean, you never saw wine. There was no wine, that was only a thing appeared after the war.
In the shops, was there just the Hillswick one? Or was there...
No, there was a shop at Orford as well.
Alright. Was that, whereabouts was that? Was it just up beside the...
Well, yes. It's just down below the school. Do you know where Vera Howick lives? That the piece on the end of her house was originally the shop.
I never knew that.
I think we maybe should finish, because it must be near your dinner time.
Yeah.
I'd like to say thank you very much to Anna.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You're very welcome. I only
That's quite
hope
informative.
that I've been able to tell you something you didn't know.
I've just learned a lot of stuff that I didn't know.
Excellent.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Good.
What time did your school start at? If you can remember.
Walking like that at Saturday. In summer we went in at 9:30, but in winter we went in at 10. allow for the walking to the school. But what I was going to say to you, Laura, was by the time you got your books, your piece, and your gas mask, you were quite heavy, laden, and very often we had to walk on rubber boots, so you had to take a pair of slippers as well.
You know the gas masks. How often did you practice in the?
Oh, I think that we had to practice once a week.
Did you like doing that, or did you find it a bit?
No, it was really, we felt it pretty. I mean, we had no idea what gas would do to you or what would happen to you, so we felt it pretty silly to take out this thing and put it over your face and sit with it on for maybe 5 minutes and take it off again.
Well, when we did it first, the World War II project, we had stuff in the classroom. We had gas masks. And some of us tried them on, and it was a bit weird.
Yeah. They had a horrible smell, if I remember right. Nasty smell.
With the younger children, how would they have reacted? Really loud?
Well, you see, I don't know. They were. I can't remember. That was 5 and upwards at the school, and they just all had gas masks, and there was no thought about it. But I do remember them coming with a strange thing when one of my sisters was a baby, a thing that you put the baby entirely into. And I can't find how it worked. There was some sort of a foot pump attached to it. But a good job none of us had to use it for real.
So this was a gas mask for a baby?
Well, that was a thing. It was sort of nearly as if you put the baby into a carrier bag with a clear thing that you could look in it. But I can't remember that much about it because I think that my mother hoped that she would never have to use it, so it was just put away and in a cupboard. And I mean, that was but I had 2 small sisters, but as far as I can remember, we only had one of these things, so.
I remember we did that when we tried when we were thinking about babies trying stuff on and stuff. We thought it would be kind of weird or something. But
well, I think I expect the baby would have hated it.
Especially an older baby.
Yes. And you see, even I can't remember what age they got gas masks at, but I would think a small child of 2 and 3 would have had great difficulty getting them to wear a gas mask.
Considering what Anna has said, what do you think life would have been like in the war? Do you think it would be quite a bit different from life that you're leading now and going to school now?
Yeah. A lot different because we don't really have to walk to school that much unless we do. And
No.
One thing different is that there was more people at your school.
There was more people and more people in every house. And the thing that strikes me very often nowadays, when I was a child, if we walked along the road from Huswick and Urford, there would always have been somebody working outside there. You would have seen somebody out at a house. Now you could walk that whole 2 miles and see nobody.
I walk to school sometimes, but it's not that long.
No.
Probably about a mile or half a mile or something like that. But I suppose that's a big difference having to walk about a mile and a half.
And then you can choose to walk. When I was at school, you're walking from Haler, there was children in both school. And you know, that's a very long walk. And sometimes they were absolutely soaked by the time that they got to the school.
There is one time that you can either take a car or walk because in the winter at our school, in the summer, there's no transport.
No.
In the winter we get the bus to take us.
That's right.
What were the roads like?
Well, they weren't even tarred then. so they were very rough. But they were, you see, they were safe for children to walk on because there was so little traffic. Hardly anybody had a car, and as I say, petrol was rationed. So, I mean, you were quite safe on the road.
Was there like lots of plants growing?
Oh yes, lots of wildflowers.
At the craft, did you have quite a lot of flowers and stuff?
Yes. And that was the thing that we did a lot of at school, was bringing wildflowers. We brought them as we walked along, and then we had maybe a quarter of an hour in the mornings while we identified these.
Well, we did that once when we were in the other class. We went out there and we looked at all the flowers and we grew them and stuff. And we put them in a tub and we looked up books and stuff, so we did that.
Well, I think that we would press ours, dry them and press them and
I've done
dry
that
them.
before. Did you like doing that?
Yes.
Did you have to carry your books, like your
Yes.
school books up to the...
And a bag, a satchel, whatever we had. So by the time you got your books, and we also had to carry a piece for our lunch. There were no school dinners.
Was there an uphill arm doing the
No,
work?
there was no uphill. Uphill only started here very recently, but the uphill in Lerwick was stopped during the war as well.
Did you go into like Lerwick when the war was on much?
No, my mother's mother and father lived in Lerwick, so sometimes the summer holidays we would go to Lerwick. You see, petrol was rationed as well, so you didn't have much petrol to go in a place like that.
You know, you said about the food being rationed.
Yes.
Which food was your favourite? Did you have one or did you?
I don't know. I think I liked fish best. And living on a craft, you see, we always had our own potatoes and milk and vegetables. And at certain times of the year we had mutton, lamb. But the fish was always there because my father would go to the fishing and bring back fresh fish. So we would have fish quite a lot.
Can I ask you something, Anna, about the concert parties?
Yes.
Were the concert parties through the war specifically for the war ever?
Well, yes, one or two that I can remember. I expect the money that was taken in all went to the war effort or something. And occasionally there would be some of the servicemen that would come from Solombo and they would take part in the concert, to sort of bulk it out. They would maybe sing, or if any of them was musical, there was always a piano in the hall and they would play the piano. But our dancing we just had to do to gramophone records, and I mean we learned to dance just using the gramophone and records.
What dances did you do?
Well, it was mainly Scottish country dancing we would learn, and we learned hand fling and the short dance and like eights and reels and first and two-step. But you also learned there's the waltz, which I always grew up knowing how to waltz, and still to this day I look at people and dancers and wonder how they can't waltz.
Did you like doing all the different?
Yes, I did. I always liked dancing.
Did you like fast dances or did it?
Yeah, well, I just liked any dancing.
How often was there a concert? Was it really?
Oh, maybe not very often. Maybe 3 times a year or something, at the most.
I suppose you're probably looking forward to them when you.
Oh yes, we did.
What was the name of your school that you went to?
The Urford School,
Just up
just up at the old school, up at Urford. but it was just the old school. It was then just the, you know, the one with the high windows.
How many people went to the school? I can remember.
That's a difficult question, thinking back. Well, thinking on average up to class 6, I expect at least 6 children in every class, so I doubt there was about 40 children.
Did you go to like secondary school?
No, I left school at 14.
What did you do when you left school?
Well, I went to work in the shop at Hillsway. I began when I was 15 and I worked there. Better not tell you how old I was. Left. No, I worked there all my life doing one thing or the other.
Did you enjoy doing that?
No, not really. But it was a job and I had to earn a living, so.
Did you remember anybody up from the school?
Oh yes. You see, in a small place like this, you grew up with them and I mean, as many as here, I still know them.
Can you name some of the people that you like the most? If you can remember.
It's not that I liked anybody more one than another, but I suppose that I had my cousins at the school, Chrissy Manson, well she was Chrissy Brown and Nina Brown, and before I left, of course, my own sisters were at the school, and the next door neighbours were the Petersons from back in, and we always went to school together.
Did you like walk to school with them or did you?
Yes, we walked together and walked back together. And sometimes, if it was a nice day in summer, we would go down to the beach and walk along the beach and along the air at Urford and instead of walking on the road.
You like that better than walking
Yes,
on the
we
road?
liked that. But we always had this difficulty, there was a burn, and if the burn was too much water in it and too wide for us to jump, then we had to take off our shoes and socks and wade across.
Did you like doing that?
Yes, like all children we did.
Did you like go to West Air before? The West Air beach?
The West Air, yes, we would go to the West Air too, because that beach was very safe to go and wade and make sandcastles and just generally play around.
Did you like take off your socks and shoes?
Yes.
Was there many people living at in Haler at the time?
At Haler?
Yeah.
No, there wasn't so many as is now at Haler. There would have been maybe 3 families there.
Did you know the families that lived there?
Yes.
Was there concerts on at the hall?
Yes,
Yes.
there was very often concerts, and we had a lady called Mrs. Gilbertson who came to the school and took us for singing and drama and dancing, and then once or twice a year they would have a concert at the hall and we would all have to perform.
Can you remember any of the things that you did there? Like drama?
Yes, I can remember. She taught us the Helen Flynn. We all got kilts and we all danced, and she would do little plays that we would do. And I remember one year a local lady who was going to be a gym teacher, but she broke her leg and she was unable to carry on with her career. So she came that year and we did a lot of, well, I suppose nowadays you'd probably call it aerobics, but we called it gymnastics. And we did a display of that.
Did you like that?
Yes, I did.
Did you get a lot of equipment?
No. Whatever equipment we required, we had to make ourselves. Even the swords for the sword dancing, the boys made wooden swords and they were painted to look like the real thing.
Did you ever make one thing for the shoes?
Well, I expect I had to make clothes and sew, for we had to get old clothes and take it apart and shape it into something else. So I think all the girls helped with the sewing.
Did you enjoy doing that?
Yes, I did very much.
Is there anything different now than they were in the war?
Oh yes, there's lots of stuff now. And everybody has all the food they can eat. All the sweeties you can eat. So we had next to no sweeties. And just, well, all the clothes that you can buy and so it's all different now.
You know, you said you walked to school.
Yes.
How many miles or stuff was it that you had to walk?
1.5 miles each way. If it was up to 3 miles, everybody had to walk. Over 3 miles, they were driven, but there, at my school there was very few children. We nearly all had to walk.
What kind of animals did you keep? Because you said you were...
Yes, we had cows, sheep, hens, geese, dogs, cats, ducks.
Which one of those was your favourite?
I think I liked the sheep best.
Was there a lot of people living in this area?
Yes, I expect about double the quantity of what is living now.
Did most of them have like a craft?
Yes, nearly everybody had a craft.
If there were any shelters, what were they made out of?
No, around about here there was no shelters. And I don't remember us ever being given any instructions as to what to do at the school if anything like that happened.
What were you taught at school?
Well, just ordinary reading, writing, arithmetic, geography, history, religious education, cooking. You got cooking.
Which one was your favourite?
I think history.
Did you go to church every?
Yes. We went to church every Sunday. We went to Sunday school and then we would go to church.
What was the priest called? Or whatever?
I think it was Ferguson, the man that I remember most.
Was the church you went to, was it just the one down there?
Yes, just the one down there. And the Sunday school was there, held there too. Sometimes we had extra classes, like Bible classes, and we were taken to the manse where the minister lived for that.
Did you see like any planes?
Yes,
fly
we
over?
saw a lot of planes. Nearly every day we saw planes. And after a while you paid very little attention to them, but it was mainly our own, the British planes that we saw.
Was there a lot of fishing going on?
Yes, there was still fishing even though the war was on. But I think you have to understand that in a small place like Shetland, life carried on just much as usual. There was very little difference.
Was there anything interesting that you found quite interesting about the war when you were that age?
Well, my father was in the Home Guard and we used to watch them practicing. Twice there were regular army men were sent. I don't know how many that would have been were sent, and they camped maybe for a week. But that's about all the servicemen that we ever saw.
Where did they practice?
The Home Guard, they practiced generally at the hall, or they might have gone down to the beach. Sometimes they had set up what was called Molotov cocktails, which was just simply a bottle with petrol and something pushed in the neck of the bottle that they set light to, and then that was flung. And so they couldn't be near a house when that was done.
How old were you at the beginning of the war?
I was 8 when the war started.
Did you go to school?
Yes, went to school every day.
Was there any schools bombed in Shetland?
No,
Okay.
Did you have school uniform?
no, we didn't.
Did you like it that there was no school uniform? Well, were you happy without it?
I was happy without it. I didn't like the school, full stop.
Where did you live?
I lived at Gateside, which is just above the hall.
What sort of environment did you live in?
Well, it was a crafting environment because we had a craft.
Were there black bits over the windows to make sure people didn't come in?
No, nothing like that, but we had to have blackouts to stop the lights being seen outside.
Did you have any evacuees living with you or near you?
No, there was nothing like that.
Did you always have to bring a gas mat wherever you went? Or
Yes, that's right.
Did you ever have to use it?
No, we used it. At the school, every now and again we had a practice. We had to see how quickly we could get it out of its box and put it on, but we had to carry it with us everywhere.
Did you have to bring passes whenever you went outside?
No, nothing like that.
What kind of clothes did you wear?
Well, we just had ordinary clothes. We weren't allowed to wear trousers at the school then. It was generally a skirt and a blouse and a jumper and a blazer. And we would have had a waterproof coat because we had to walk to school, so we needed something to keep us dry.
Did you like the clothes you wore?
Yes, I suppose I did, for I knew nothing else. And in the wartime, you see, there was very few clothes to be bought because you needed clothing coupons.
Did your family go and fight in the war?
No.
Did you get any news to tell you if your family was okay?
Well, you see, with none of my family, my father was too old for the Second World War, so there was nobody away. Really, that I can remember, no family member away at the war.
Okay. Did you have, how did you get the news?
Well, I suppose if you'd got the news, it would have come by a telegram through the post office.
What food was rationed in the war?
Well, nearly all food was rationed.
Was there a lot of doctors around?
No, just the one doctor.
What was the doctor called?
It was Dr. Gilchrist.
Okay. Did you like him?
Yes. He was quite gruff, but he was very kind. And
How did you feel about the war?
well, you see, when you're 8-year-old, 9, 10, the war doesn't mean very much to you because you don't realise how tragic it could be for other people. And living in a small place like Shetland, there was very little to be seen of the war, and there was no television, so all that you had was a news bulletin. We didn't even have daily paper, so we couldn't read the paper even.
Can I ask something? You were saying to Anna about the blackouts and that in the school. Was there anything else that you can mind, any other?
At the school?
Yeah.
Yes. In the school that I went to, there was a glass partition between the two classrooms, and that glass was all covered with criss-cross tape, and the windows, quite high windows, they were done the same with tape. And the theory was that if a bomb was dropped or something, then the glass wouldn't shatter. It would maybe fall in